Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be, my name is Travis Johnson by the way, and we're going to be configuring today um, a VWire deployment. For those of you that have been following along in my series of previous videos where we did a lot of configurations with the Palo Alto Firewall Layer 3 deployment. Today is going to be a little change up and we're going to deploy a VWire setup. So in our lab right now, we are running um, a Docker Web GUI server and a corporate user desktop. So both of these devices are an even G. They allow a plethora of functionality and so forth. So our firewall is pre-configured just with the basics. Um, and when I say basics, I just mean the management interface is configured. So I have given my firewall a host name. This is Palo Alto version 11.2.5. Okay. And the basic config is essentially just the host name is configured, as you guys will see here. Host name configured PVM, and the management IP I set to static and on my home subnet. So today's video should be hopefully informative to some of you guys. And let's begin. So again, today is all about VWire setup. VWire essentially is a deployment method where you can drop a firewall into, uh, so to kind of give you some context and use case, you can drop a VWire into a new environment, and instead of having to allocate and re-architect IP addresses, provision IP addresses to the firewall, you can just drop the firewall into the environment, connect two separate zones, and then the firewall will allow these two zones to communicate. So if you know anything about next gen firewalls, generally in order to do that, you have to create policies and net rules and well, to connect two zones, you just have to create a policy. But generally, you have to create IP addresses on each individual interface, whereas in a VWire deployment, uh, you don't have to add IP addresses. These interfaces don't have to have IP addresses for this host to communicate with this host. So it's a lot simpler deployment. Oftentimes, it's used for like if company A purchases company B, and company A wants to kind of monitor and begin to segment company B's traffic, a VWire is the simplest deployment to do that. So hopefully that makes sense. And I'm going to go ahead and jump in and begin. So the first thing we will do is interface 1.1 is to the web server, 1.2 is to inside. So 1.1, we're going to call interface 1.1 the outside zone. Okay, we're going to choose the interface type, which is going to be VWire. And there is no VWire configured right now, so we could go here in our sidebar and select VWire, but I just like to configure here because it's simple and easy. So we're going to name it VWire. Okay, make sure link state pass through is enabled. We're going to click OK. Security zone, as we mentioned before, this is going to be the outside zone. So we're going to outside. Okay. And simple as that, we're going to click OK. All right. Next, we're going to do the same thing for interface 2. This is going to be inside. We're going to select the interface type as VWire. We're going to select the VWire that we created earlier, VWire, And remember, guys, this is going to be a different zone. So this is going to be the inside zone. Okay. I'll click OK. Click OK again. Great. So now we have our interfaces configured. Our zones are configured because, remember, our zones are configured because we configured the zones in the here in the interface dashboard. So I love doing that. Some people like to go to zones, create the zones separately, but within the interfaces, you can pretty much create um, everything you need for your networking. So you can create your virtual wire, your virtual router. Instead of having to jump over the virtual router and create a separate virtual router, you can pretty much accomplish most of your networking right there just within um, the interfaces tab. So next, we're going to create a policy, and this policy is going to allow, because remember, this is a next gen firewall, so um, it's zone based. So we have to allow traffic to talk from the left side to the right side. So we're going to just create a simple allow inside to outside policy. The source, we're just going to pick any source, any destination, any application, any service, any action. Okay, log at the intersection, click OK. Let's jump over to our monitor logs. And it looks like we have some traffic already. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to clear these traffic logs. So we're going to jump over to device, log settings, scroll down, clear traffic logs, click OK. Great. Traffic logs have been deleted. Jump back over traffic logs. I just want to make sure there's no logging going on. I want to make sure that the hosts aren't pinging one another. Pinging one another. So here we have our corporate user and our web server. Corporate user on the left, web server on the right. IPA to view the IP address. It's going to be 10.10.10.11, which you can see there. Okay. This one's 10.10.10.15, which you guys can see there. Now I shouldn't be able to ping 10.10.10. I shouldn't be able to ping the web server right now, which I can't. Right? And if I try to ping from the other side, 10.10.10.11. Okay. Notice destination host unreachable. Destination host unreachable. Okay. So we can't ping from side to side right now because I haven't committed the changes. But once I commit the changes, then I'll be able to ping from 10.11 to 10.15 on our virtual wire deployment. So I'm going to go ahead and commit these changes. VWires are super simple, guys, and they're an easy deployment interface strategy. Again, when acquiring or wanting to filter on traffic without, you know, allocating or provisioning IP addresses to it. So in my professional experience, I've seen that happen where company A purchases company B, and it's an easy way to just deploy the firewall to filter traffic and not have to make any architectural changes. So as it relates to IP addresses. So once these changes commit, looks like it's about done. Go back to our traffic logs, which are still clear. Okay. We're going to jump back over to our corporate user. And we're going to ping 10.10.10.1. We're getting a response from the web server. We'll ping the user. We'll get a response. I had the wrong IP address. I had 101. All right, 10.10.10.11. There we go. So guys, you can see we can ping from both sides. Let's jump over to the monitor logs, traffic logs rather, and you can see our traffic is hitting the firewall. Traffic is allowed, hitting our rule, good to go. Okay. If we wanted to, then we could, with the VWire, we can also filter traffic. So we could say, we could open up this rule and say, let's do this. So there's a, because this is a web server, we can reach it via http://10.10.10.15. So there's our default Apache server web page. Jump over to the firewall. We will see that this traffic is coming through. It's hitting on web browsing traffic. We should see that web browsing traffic coming through soon. There might be a little bit of a lag, but sometimes things work a little weird in labs. But anyway, there should be some web browsing traffic that we see hitting the firewall from 10:11 to 10:15. Oh wait, I know why. Sorry guys. I know exactly why it's still doing that. Yeah. All right, let's stop that. Let's go back here. And we'll clear the logs again. Clear traffic logs. Yes. Open up the page again. Let's go to http://10.10.10.15. Get to our web server. Logs completed. And let's see what we have. So that traffic should be oh. So guys, you can tell me if anyone can tell me in the comments why those logs aren't generating, but I think I know why. So this is going to be inner zone traffic. Well, we have login at the end of session. Interesting. I think there might be a little bit of a lag because we should be seeing that traffic. But anyway, at any rate, we are able to reach the web server, and there's probably a session going on too. Let's see. Let's jump over to session browser. Huh. Interesting. going to send some pings back through, and let's see. Policy. It's interesting. There we go. So there's some ping traffic, but for some reason it didn't. And I wonder, what if we change? What if we override and log here? Close this browser. Close this. Let's try this. Maybe because the firewall is registering as enter and intra-zone traffic, sometimes by default it's not automatically uh, logged. So it's interesting. All right, should be good to go. Let's go back to our Apache server. It's fun troubleshooting little issues like this. Um, the interesting part is I'll try it before I actually start recording. It'll work perfectly. Then once I start recording the lab, all of a sudden, you know, the behavior changes. So it's all good. Let's see what we got. TTP // 10.10.10.15. Oops. HTTP .10.10.10.15. Okay. So showing ping traffic. But anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to show you like, so we got it connected, but I probably have to come back and figure out because sometimes it's just a lab issue, um, not particularly a device issue. But anyway, long story short, um, that's how you deploy a VWire setup. And see you in the next video. Thanks for your time.